Good morning and welcome to Dobutsu Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple. I am just making sure all the live streams are set up. Looks like we are doing well. Good morning, Neil. So good to see you. Thank you for sharing on the WhatsApp. We got a couple more viewers. We'll start with, good morning, Yolanda. So good to see you. It is raining since I'm inside. Yeah, it's cold and raining. Um, Maybe I would brave the cold, but all my equipment would get wet if I tried to do this outside right now. Um, so until I build the temple, which I may be farther off than I thought I would be. Good morning, Pauline. So good to see you. Um, we started saving up for the temple. Had a little bit of money set aside to start building the temple. Um, but yeah, so last a couple days ago, all my days are blending together. A couple days ago, I got into a car accident, um, and it just my car in the rain lost control and spun around and hit a railing. And I'm okay, a little sore, but I should be fine. But my car's not doing well, and so I just have my truck, which is not really built for driving on the road. It's mostly to get up and down the hill, to pick up large items. The gas mileage on it is horrible. Um, so I really don't have a vehicle right now because that car is pretty broken. Um, and to repair it's going to cost a lot of money. And the money I had set aside for building the temple. So that's not great. Otherwise, the other updates, are one of our pigeon friends, Finch, passed away earlier this week. We had services for her. Um, she laid a soft egg and passed away shortly after that. So reproductive issues, which I'm being told is pretty common in female pigeons. Um, Otherwise they're very hardy, strong birds, with the exception of the because they're bred in captivity and used by the industry for all sorts of horrible things. Um, they often have reproductive failure, which unfortunately is fatal for them. So, my dear Finch did pass away. Good morning, Pastor Rob. So good to see you. Good morning, Tony. Salazar, so good to see you. Oh, thank you, Yolanda. Yeah, Finch was a pigeon, one of my pigeon friends. So yeah, it's been a tough week with the rain. Makes it very difficult to plan the feeding schedules. Everybody got fed this morning. Um, we got like a light rain, light enough to get everybody fed, and I won't be able to do the tour, but we'll visit with some of our rat friends and our dove friends inside the house. Um, Mostly because I can't carry the camera out in the rain. It would break it. Yeah, chickens do have the same issues, reproductive failure. Um, Very similar situation, unfortunately. Oh, good morning, Jess. The other updates, the kind of it. We have had a slow week because of the rain and trying to deal with that. Oh, we did have um, I guess, a fire in Martinez. The oil refinery caught fire, and they put a shelter in place order um, because of that fire, mostly having to do with air quality. So we've been keeping a close eye on everybody here, making sure they're doing okay. If anybody shows any sort of respiratory issues, we'll take them into the medical building. But so far, everybody seems to be doing okay, just keeping a close eye on that, which is also very difficult to do in the rain. But luckily, the rain does help with some of the air quality, the wind and so forth, kind of keeping that bad air moving. Good morning, Maya. So good to see you here as well. Good morning, Gabriella. So good to see you. But we'll go through the resident updates here. Our duck friends are doing well. They're eating breakfast. Breve, Grave, Amanda, and Renee. Um, they're all doing well. Lucy's right behind me, kind of still sleeping. The goats, Rob, Matt, and Philip, are doing well. The three tortoises are still in the medical building because of the rain and the cold. Um, Priya and Harriet are eating their breakfast. They're doing pretty well. Our rooster friends, Jax and Jimmy, are both doing pretty well. Um, Keeping a close eye on Jack's weight and making sure eating enough. Um, Other than that, he's got a lot of energy though, so we're happy to see that. Wendy, the guinea fowl, is doing well. And then my roosters in the main aviary are Sabrina, May, Brad, Hard One, Mr. Black, Elton, and Magnus are all doing super good. Our hens, Glennis, Gwen, Alice, Melissa, Melinda, Sunny, Dora, and Daniela are all doing really well. Of course, the rats, Yamabushi and Hasu, are doing well. I don't see Hasu in his little bed, so I'm wondering where he's hanging out at. And we'll find out here in a little bit. Sequoia's doing really well. I see her. You might hear her in the background. The little cooing is Sequoia. The cornices in the Cornwall corner, Poppy, Aster, Ivy, Azalea, Peony, Cynthia, Lotus, Edward, Magnolia, Hazel, Sage, Marigold, Camilla, Hydrangea, Holly, and Zinnia are all doing really well. And then our other 39 pigeons, FP, Champagne, Appletini, Tulin, Sasha, Yo-Yo, Petey, Ricky, Spencer, Shambles, Beluga, Beth, Pee-wee, Cascade, Augustus, Frankie, Rufus, Harper, Elliot, Snickers, Boba, Kismet, Farah, Angus, Pandora, Jones, Sin, Harriet, Lago, Fred, Tremonto, Halo, Van Capone, Thimble, Percy, Pacino, Lacey, and Sasha too are all doing really well as well. Oh, good morning, Jackie. So good to see you. I have the live chat on the YouTube up as well to make sure I don't miss any messages there. It probably looks kind of funny, but it is what it is. So those are our updates. Um, I need to start working on my car to fix it again. Um, it's going to take a long time because it needs a lot of work and parts are expensive. Everything's expensive. So, meanwhile, I am not sure how I'm going to get everything done. The truck, I can always, I can always provide for our residents by using the truck to get, supplies and things. Maybe just personal supplies might be a little bit more difficult because I don't really need to. I don't want to take the truck to the grocery store. It's kind of overkill um, and very expensive. So we'll figure it out. Good morning, Christine. So good to see you. So things are a little cramped in the house do services, but I'm doing my best here. Looks cozy inside. Yeah, sometimes it's a little cold, um, but it's not wet, so that's the advantage. Um, we'll get started with the services here. As always, dedicated to our dear animal friends. Mentioned before, it's of great benefit for our companion animals or any wild animals that are nearby to hear these prayers as they are dedicated to them. We'll start on page 4 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book with the recitation of the Heart Sutra in Japanese. Maka hanya haramita shingyo kanji zai bosatsu gyojin hanya haramita jiso kengo onkai kudo isai kuyaku sharishi shiki fuku kufu shiki shiki zoku de kuku zoku de shiki ju sogyo shiki yaku bunyo ze sharishi ze shohoku so fu sho fu metsu fu ku fu jo fu zo fu gen ze ko chu mu chu shiki mu shu ju gyo shiki mu gen ni bi zetsu ni mu shiki shoko mi soku ho mu gen kai nai shi mu i shiki kai mu mu no yaku mu mu myo jin nai shi mu ro shi yaku mu ro shi jin mu ku shu metsu do mu chi yaku mu toku i mu sho tokko bodai sakai hanya haramita koshin mukege komuku funri sai tendo musoku gyo ne hansan de shobutsu e hanya harami 一心自在大妙实在无着实在无头道着那着一最高真実不高校絶般若腹見た種族絶種圧ギャテ腹ギャテ腹そうギャテボディソワガ般若心経レゴワクワこのくどこもてあまねく一切に及ぼし我ら星だ富な友の仏道 Animal Liberation の上善こと一法三世佛子孫菩薩佛子孫菩薩もこさもこほじゃほろみWe'll now recite the refuge prayer in Tibetan and then in English, page 8 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Sangye Chadan Tsaki Chanam La Chanchu Paduk Taki Kyapsu Taki Chenso Kepe Sonam Ki Jola Penjer Sangye Juparsho. The Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly of the Sangha. Until I attain enlightenment, in these I take refuge. By my practice of the six perfections, may all sentient beings attain the state of Buddhahood. We now recite the four great Bodhisattva vows, Shigi Segan. Shujo Muhen Segando Bono Mujen Segandan Homon Muryo Seganga Botudo Mujo Seganjo. However numerous sentient beings, I vow to enlighten them all. However inexhaustible my delusions, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the dharmas, I vow to master them all. However endlessly enlightened way, I vow to follow it fully. And we now recite the 6 vows to our dear animal friends. However numerous my dear animal friends, I vow to liberate them all. However diverse the methods of animal liberation, I vow to support them all. However unheard their voices, I vow to speak out for them all. However painful and inexhaustible the methods of suffering, I vow to bear witness to them all. However infinite the cages and tanks, I vow to empty them all. However difficult animal liberation, I vow to achieve it completely. We now recite the 100-syllable Vajrasattva Purification Mantra, page 11 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Om Vajrasattva Maya Nupalaya Vajrasattva Nopatista Tredome Baba Sito Shome Baba Sipo Shome Baba Anurato Me Baba Sarva Sita Me Prayata Sarva Karma Sita Me Chitim Sri Yam Guru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mucha Vajri Baba Maha Samamnya Safaha. Yeah. It's beautiful that the hummingbirds, even though it's cold in Arizona, it's great to see that there's some hummingbirds out and feeding. And thank you for feeding our dear hummingbird friends. Yeah. Sometimes Arizona can get cold, but we don't really get a winter. So yeah, the wildlife seems to kind of be around throughout the year. Maybe less in the summer. They kind of hide out because it's very hot. So this week, again, I didn't prepare anything for a talk. If anybody has any specific questions, I'd love to hear them. I had planned on sitting down Friday night to kind of write something up or to figure out what I was going to talk about on Sunday, but because of the car accident, I was not feeling very well. Um, and then from the fire on Saturday, the air quality was so bad that I was just like struggling a little bit with trying to take care of the animals in the rain and breathe and watch everybody. So very hectic week. So I did not get an opportunity to kind of prepare anything. Oh, good morning, Martin. So good to see you here as well. Um, oh, and we have Jackie on YouTube as well. So I'm so good to see Jackie over there on YouTube. Again, I don't think our YouTube gets many views, but it's still there for folks who don't use Facebook. I don't, that makes sense for those who don't use Facebook. Sometimes I get my inspiration for the week's talk from looking, at what people are posting on Facebook regarding our dear animal friends. Unfortunately, since um, the inauguration of our new president, it's kind of been all about him, um, which is unfortunate. No matter what side you fall on that, it just I think our world is bigger than that, um, bigger than politics, um, and we should seek ways to benefit our dear animal friends, regardless of um, who might be in power in our country, um, and especially since majority of the folks who um, tune into my live streams are not even in this country. But I understand. I do appreciate people being politically aware and being, having something to say about all of that and express your opinions. I think that is important. However, I just um, hope that our dear animal friends aren't pushed to the background because of all these things. But I also hear that in during uh, these tumultuous times, we had the fires in Southern California. I think there was an airplane accident. From what I heard, maybe a couple airplane accidents, which is I very sad to hear about those things happening. And I think that it's very difficult on all of us um, when so much, maybe bad news may be hitting us. And I think this is like an excellent opportunity to practice being in the moment. Not that all of these problems don't follow us and don't continuously affect us, but trying, and it's not like we ignore those problems, but what we want to try to do is be in the present moment and feel um, feel the beings that are close to us and that are near to us, because often what we are experiencing on social media is the entire world all at once, and we feel that like our attention needs to go to the worst places on this planet. And although I think this is a good practice, and I do think that that does deserve our attention. I do think that this can be overwhelming, and I think that there should be a way to come back um, and center oneself um, without forgetting about our responsibility, um, forgetting our responsibility of compassion and love and care, and taking positive actions for other beings. But to be in the moment, what I'm asking folks to do is, be aware of, all the things around you. Yesterday reminded me of this when I was outside in the rain, washing my dishes because they needed to get washed so that I could eat again. And I was washing my dishes, and there's a little fly that got fell into the water, and because washing dishes is always a excellent time to practice uh, being mindful and aware, and a good meditative practice is I noticed a little fly in the water and kind of struggling a little bit, so I turned my water off and slowly lifted him up out of the water and spent some time letting him kind of dry off on my finger, before taking him to like a safer, drier spot and letting him kind of crawl off on my finger. And the real blessing is what that fly gave to me was the blessing of awareness and the blessing of being in the moment, and having the opportunity to save one little life. And this can bring us a lot of joy and happiness, in a world that seems to be on fire and falling apart around us. I was able to help this little fly out of the water. And so I encourage folks to be aware so that we can take up those opportunities to rescue a little fly friend, to take care of our companion animals, maybe spend a little bit more time with them. The amount of joy is multiplied when we kind of take our time to just sit down with one of our companion animal friends and be with them in the moment. Maybe follow, um, you know, like my mother did this morning, who just took in the sights of the hummingbirds. This can be a really good practice, and you know, taking the time to make sure their little water feeder is filled. Um, this type of positive action can help us in this world that seems to be falling apart. So I think my point of this is like being right, being in the moment. Buddhism always goes on to talking about being aware and present and in the moment. Doesn't just mean shutting down. It doesn't mean um, closing yourself off from the world around you. It actually means opening up your eyes to the world around you, um, realizing that in the very present moment, there's nothing I can do about the elections or the administrations and the administration anywhere in the world. We all have our issues with that. The giant corporations that are, kind of tearing our world apart, and the oil refineries that are, catching on fire, and the climate change that's, kind of wreaking havoc across the world. There's not a whole lot we might be able to do in the moment that seems substantial. But that little fly friend that I helped out of the water that day, that was his whole world. Um, that was, the ability for them to kind of be able to go on. And the little fly friend probably wasn't concerned about our current administration, was more concerned about not drowning in the water that day. And this is the practice that we should embrace, being in the moment, helping who we can when we can, and being aware of our current surroundings. And um, I'll mention this. I think most of the folks who tune into our live stream are, maybe practicing vegans. But if you're not, um, I think that's okay. But let's take that practice of being in the moment, mm, and think about what we might choose in the moment to eat, on how we take care of ourselves, and what is the best way that I can take care of myself, and does it involve hurting other animals? Because it doesn't have to. And I think this is also a good practice of being in the moment. Maybe we think that we're not ready to commit to a vegan lifestyle, um, but we can be in the moment and choose each meal more compassionately and more wisely. And, like I've said, I've never been a real advocate for veganism, but I am an advocate for not hurting animals. And we can choose to not hurt animals every meal. And so that's what I do advocate for. So that's my kind of message today. I kind of winged it. Let me check the comments to see if there's any specific questions. Um, yeah, that's beautiful. So yeah, YouTube on the TV and Facebook on my phone. That's so good. It really helps our algorithm and get our messaging out there. Um, these comments do really help our algorithm too, so other people tune in and watch these live streams and kind of learn about our temple. And um, my aspiration is to, like, hopefully get our temple in front of the right person who has the ability to really make a difference and, like, help us in a financial way, so that we can help more animals, so that we can kind of spread this message of um, love and compassion for you know all beings, especially our dear animal friends. Um, you know, I think I think it would be great to get this message in front of the right people, and to do that, we have to, like, get our algorithm better, and people watching on Facebook and YouTube and commenting and sharing is of great help, and that's how we're gonna achieve what we need to achieve here. Yeah, that is Sequoia in the background if people can hear that. There was a Yeah, this comment by Neil. There was one thing about the plane crash, that someone who had died had been a duck hunter, I think, and some of the people more or less celebrating their deaths. Yeah, this is another good message about being in the moment, right? I don't think people should hunt ducks, and I don't think people should hunt anybody. This is a terrible practice. But the solution is not for those who hunt to die. The solution is to change the hearts um, of those who are exploiting and killing our dear animal friends. That is the solution: is to change their hearts, to change the culture around awful things like hunting. Um, we need to um, we need to change the hearts and the culture, and that is because um, people are born onto this world faster than they're dying, right? This is why the population increases. Um, and if we don't change the culture, um, awful practices that continuously exploit and hurt our dear animal friends will only continue. Um, this is why it's so important to change the culture, to change people's hearts, so that moving forward, the generations also teach this same thing of respecting all life, of respecting our dear animal friends. Um, you know, having a hunter die does not actually um, change the culture, and so I think that this is a poor thing to celebrate. So thank you for mentioning that, and I did see some posts that were like that, and I think that's a short term um, thinking, and I think we should be thinking more long term. I think we should think about changing folks' hearts rather than changing whether or not they're alive on this planet. Oh no, the video is frozen. It might be. It's probably my internet. I'm sorry, folks. Let me. Yep, we are frozen here too. Looks like it froze 2 minutes ago. I don't know if people are hearing it. Let me check here. Let me see if I can fix it. All right, just bear with me one second. Yeah, so we still have volume, which is good. Um, but my video for some reason is not working. And let me see. I bet you I can do this. So that might be working. Nope, it looks still frozen over there. There we go. Okay, switch cameras, and it seems that we're working again. Oh, and we're still frozen over there. I don't know why that's frozen over there. Um, but that's not my favorite thing. I don't like that. Not frozen on my phone. That's not good. I'm like changing the YouTube froze too. Pauline says we can hear you. It still looks frozen on Facebook, but does not look frozen on YouTube. Yes. Okay, there we go. It's working now. Yes, working. Yeah, sorry folks about that. I just switched my cameras. It's on my laptop camera rather than my good camera. That'll just have to work for now. I don't know why that happened. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Neil, for and Pauline and Yolanda and Jackie for all posting. If you can see the videos or not, that's really the only way I know if things are working. Um, I used to have people in Phoenix who came in to the temple and would run all my um, electrical and tech and everything for me, so that I can just do the services and they would make sure everything ran smooth. If there was a problem, they would fix it for me. It was really nice having that, and now I realize not having that how difficult sometimes this can be and having to troubleshoot on the go. But that's okay. Um, we're getting somewhere. All right, so let's continue with our service. I hope the talk made sense to folks today. And like I said, if anybody has questions or comments about it, I would love to hear them. You can always private message me. I love to hear from folks. I'm always happy to answer questions. I always think that I do better answering questions than I do just coming up with things to talk about each week. But that's okay. I will continue to keep doing it as long as I can, given things don't become too difficult here. But we will conclude today's services with the recitation of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer, as well as the dedication of merit, and then we'll visit with Hasu or Yamabushi. Whoever wants to come out, we'll visit with one of my rat friends. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are subject to unbearable pain in labs throughout the world, be free of all suffering. May alternatives to animal experimentation and vivisection be implemented immediately. May bodhicitta, the quality of compassion that leads to enlightenment, fill the hearts of those who imprison them. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who suffer endless days, months, and years, locked in tiny cages unable to move, be filled with peace and calm. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are forcibly taken from their families, be reunited, and may all families be able to stay together. May the hearts of those who work in slaughterhouses, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends be filled with bodhicitta, so the very thought of harm is purified. May they never kill again, and may the slaughterhouse lines, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends become immediately empty. May no animal be afraid or depressed. May their bodies be free of injuries, disease, and illness. May the mutilation of their bodies be forever ceased. May those who need homes or have been driven from them find shelter, plentiful food, and water. May there be liberation for those tortured for fur, entertainment, or who are hunted. May those who believe that they are superior to our brother and sister animals develop perfect equanimity, and may they realize in their hearts that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature, the potential to be completely free of suffering, and that they are not ours to kill or exploit. May the billions of land and sea-dwelling sentient beings who are abused, exploited, and killed due to greed, hatred, and ignorance be free of suffering. May all nets, hooks, blades, projectiles, traps, snares, cages, pens, tanks, lethal restraints, saddles, reins, prods, bait, poison, and all instruments used to harm, exploit, and dominate our dear animal friends be forever abolished. May all human and non-human sentient beings live together in harmony, peace, equanimity, and achieve perfect enlightenment quickly. May we all experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation in this very lifetime. We now recite the dedication of merit to our dear animal friends. Throughout our many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue we have accomplished, including this aspiration for peace, and all that we will ever attain, this we offer for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends. May suffering, exploitation, and unnecessary death be decreased for every being, while wisdom, bliss, and compassion increase in this and every future life. May we clearly and instantly perceive the plight of our dear animal friends with the urgency and seriousness they deserve, and our every action leads them to complete liberation. May we quickly attain enlightenment and will work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Right, we are going to visit with Yamabushi and Hasu. Let me just check my... Nope. Okay. That's so weird. Yeah. See, I think this camera looks so much better, so I got it to switch over there. Hopefully that worked over here. Frozen again. It's working. It works through now. There's a delay on my side, so that's why. Oh, it did froze again. Oh no. Okay, 1 second. Oh, no, it did freeze. Hasu, Wushi, who wants to come out? Is there 2 rats in here? Is there 2 rats in here? That's Hasu. Do you want to come out, Yamabushi? No? Lucy looks like she doesn't want to move. Lucy does not want to move. And here's our beautiful Yamabushi. He's just over a year old now. And of course, Yamabushi was rescued from a laboratory where unfortunately him and his brother were used for different types of experiments. But some very kind folks took it upon themselves to take him out of that horrible place. And him and Hasu found a home here at the Animal Liberation Temple. He's grown really well. He was a little tiny rat, and now he's a very, very big rat. Very friendly and surprisingly very clean. The other thing I want to say about lab rats is they're super friendly, and that's kind of why they use them. Is because of how friendly and easy they are to handle, which is kind of sad that we take advantage of sentient beings' good nature. But Yamabushi and Hasu now have a safe, warm place to be. Yeah, and they don't have to experiment or do any tricks. They can just be themselves. Do you want to go back? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Sometimes I don't know, but we'll take you back.
welcome. Good job.
Well, thank you all for joining us here at the Animal Liberation Temple, Dobutsu Kyoji, where we are at the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends. Please share this live stream, comment, post. Even if you watch throughout the week or later on in the week, you can always comment and share and like, and those kind of things really help with the algorithm. If you're in a position to donate, that could be really helpful. Although more helpful is just to kind of share and get that message across. Really, what we really want is to see all our dear animal friends benefiting the way they do here at the temple. So we just kind of want to inspire other folks to do the same kind of work, to get active for our animals, friends, to recognize them as beings who also have Buddha nature. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful week.